Do you remember when a gallon of this used to cost the same as a pack of this? Well, if you've been a member of Planet Earth since January 20th of 2021, let's go, Brandon! Let's go, Brandon! You've witnessed the largest spike in fuel prices in history. When it costs more to buy a gallon of gas than it does to buy a 4-pack of Natty Tall Boys, squeezing every last mile out of a tank of gas is no longer just a fun road trip challenge. It's necessary to master in order to keep food on your kids' plates.
Say it ain't so, Joe.
With that being said, it only seems natural that you would use that fancy eco mode button in your truck to maximize your fuel economy, right? Well, what better test subject than the biggest gas engine Ford makes, the 7.3 liter Godzilla. All right, guys, my beer's getting warm, so let's kick the tires and light the fires.
You'll have equity in that deal, so whenever that property sells, you will get that original investment back.
All right, guys, if you haven't already watched the video I recently did on whether Ford's 7.3 liter Godzilla was really one of those monstrous gas guzzlers, you should really check it out to see the surprising results. A quick recap of that video, though. I ran an entire tank of gas using only eco mode, maximizing straight and level freeways without traffic, and using cruise control to minimize keeping my foot in it. The thought was that driving exclusively in eco mode would maximize fuel economy by limiting the engine and transmission accelerations that would burn more gas. And here was a quick recap of the results of that test.
All right, so we got 23.59 gallons. So we'll see. We'll do what the truck said on the fuel burn, and we'll do a what it actually burned based off of fuel consumption. All right, see how it goes. All right, guys. So according to the truck, what it's showing, we got on the trip, we got about 306.6 miles driven, and it's showing 13.7 miles per gallon average. We were using eco mode the entire time, and then you can see the trip time was just under 7 hours and 30 minutes. I got the numbers here. The actual fuel burned was 23.589 gallons. So we'll do the burn on that. All right, so according to the truck, we had 13.7 miles per gallon. If you take 306.6 miles and divide it by 23.589 gallons, you actually come out with almost exactly 13 miles per gallon. So it was off a little bit.
In this video, I will be using the normal driving mode, which is sometimes referred to as continuous mode by other manufacturers. And I will be driving almost exclusively in the city and slower residential roads, as well as the biggest hills I can find in southern Alabama. I will also not be using cruise control at all during this test. The goal is to be as polar opposite to the eco mode test as I can be. I'm not gonna lie, the results surprised me. Will they surprise you? Well, let's find out. All right, guys, so we have just filled up this test, which is gonna be run completely in normal driving mode, and it's gonna be in city stop and go type stuff. So that's gonna be the test. We will catch you guys in a couple hundred miles and see how she's doing. right, guys, so we're about 300 miles or so, a little bit over, into the normal driving mode only, no cruise control, city, a little bit of highway, stop and go, acceleration, all that kind of stuff. And you can see, looking pretty good, about 14.1, which isn't a whole lot different than the eco mode, babying it, and staying just on the highway. So pretty happy with the results. And we've been hanging right around this 14 to 14.1 range. So I'll see if I can squeeze a little bit out with those last 120 miles or so, and we'll see what we come up with at the pump. Alright guys, I am showing 30 miles left to E, so couldn't go a whole lot further. Just under 400 miles driven and 13.8 miles per gallon is what I'm reading. So this was 100% in normal drive mode. That's how I was driving the whole time. City roads, very little highway time, transitory, stop and go, traffic, things like that. So I drove in essentially all types of urban environments, you know, city. I definitely wasn't in Chicago, so it wasn't stop and go traffic for the most part, but driving downtown Pensacola, driving here in this little town. This is Bruton, Alabama. Driven through here a few times, going to work on the aircraft. That's actually where I'm going today, to work on the aircraft that we're getting ready to buy. We'll see what it comes out to at the pump. Gas has gone up quite a bit just in the last couple weeks since I did the first video on the efficiency. So I know we're not hurting nearly as bad as y'all out in California or, you know, upper Northeast and stuff like that, but man, it's nuts. It's at least gone up about 15-20% in the last few weeks. So I happened to find, that's why I actually came here, I found a place that was less than $3.50, and it's quite a bit under. So not great from a year ago or so, but pretty good, all things considered, everything that's going on right now. So all right, let's go get some gas.
Appreciate the help on this one.
All right, guys, so a little bit of an interesting result. So on the last test, the fuel gauge was saying that we were about a mile per gallon better than what was actually calculated. Well, I just calculated what we got, and we had 392.2 miles, and I used, let me do the math here, 28.575 gallons. So I'll help you with the math really quick, and that's what I come up with. 13.57 miles per gallon, so just a shade under 13.8. I don't know if you remember from a few seconds ago, but it's showing 13.8 right there. So two things. One, don't know if this was just coincidence or not, but the fuel gauge is showing almost exactly what I calculated, which is good. The other thing that is a little surprising to me, or at least it would have been if I hadn't had a lot of your guys' comments, is the normal mode did better than the eco mode. And in eco mode, I was traveling on the highway. So go figure that out. the only two things, I'm going to do a little bit more thinking about this. The only two things that I'm thinking of is on the highway, I was going 70 miles an hour. Not quite as efficient. Nice because I'm not accelerating and decelerating, but, 70 miles an hour is a little bit beyond that best fuel economy range, actually quite a bit. And then a lot of the city driving I was doing, I was, it wasn't like flooring it. Now, there were a couple times where I had to go from 0 to hero pretty quick. So, I had to basically stomp on it, and I probably burned, a gallon of gas just doing that. So overall, though, very happy with it, very consistent, whether I am in eco mode or normal mode. The next obvious test is going to see how this thing tows. I just got my boat all cleaned up, got the annual done, and we're going to go ahead and get her ready for sheep's head and cobia season down here in Florida. The next thing is I'm going to be towing my boat around. So I'm just going to go ahead and hook that thing up and tow it nonstop. Be, clogging up a bunch of space downtown when I'm parking at the office. But hey, for the sake of the test, we're going to do it. All right, guys, pretty excited about this. Pretty excited about the next test. I appreciate you guys watching. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. If you like this video, if you want to see more, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Just like a lot of y'all have done, giving me ideas for other tests. Happy to do them. I'm just having fun doing this. So let me know. Give me some weird ones, because it's a lot of fun to do. It gets me some more experience. It helps me to learn my truck better. And at the end of the day, hopefully it helps you guys learn a little bit more about this truck, whether you own one or are looking to buy one. And maybe it will help you make your decision a little bit easier. And that's really what I'm doing this for. All right, guys. We'll see you later.